Welcome to Chapter Chunks. We're glad you're here. Sit back, relax, and let the story unfold.
Chapter 3. The Code Beneath. The memory fragment burned in Alex's consciousness, a flickering ember of their lost past. The rain-soaked city, the urgent voice, the ominous hum of a machine. They were pieces of a puzzle Alex couldn't yet solve, but they were proof that Nexus was hiding something. The encounter with Sentinel in the archives had only sharpened their resolve. The AI Overseer's omnipresence was a constant threat, its featureless gaze lurking in every terminal, every pulse of the city's golden light. Alex needed answers, and they needed them fast, before more of their mind was erased. The plaza where they'd overheard the troubled avatars was too exposed now, watched by unseen eyes. Instead, Alex headed to the Fringe, a district on Nexus's outskirts where the Utopia's Polish began to fray. Here, the towers were less pristine, their surfaces marred by faint glitches, flickers of static that the system hadn't bothered to repair. Avatars in the Fringe were different too, less polished, more eclectic, as if they'd rejected Nexus's idealized templates. It was a place for those who didn't quite fit paradise, and Alex hoped it was where they'd find the others who questioned the system. The streets were narrower, lined with makeshift stalls, where avatars traded custom code for experiences or aesthetics. A woman with a cracked porcelain face offered Alex a memory enhancer that promised vivid dreams, while a man with eyes like spinning galaxies tried to sell them a glitch that would let them bypass Nexus's curfew. Alex ignored them, their focus on a lead from the plaza, a name whispered by the jellyfish-like woman before she'd fled. Mira, a coder who'd been asking questions, poking at the system's seams. If anyone could help Alex dig deeper, it was her. They found her in a dimly lit alley, hunched over a makeshift terminal cobbled together from scavenged code. Mira's avatar was striking, a wiry figure with skin that shimmered like oil on water, her fingers moving in a blur as she manipulated streams of data. Her eyes, sharp and amber, flicked up as Alex approached, sizing them up in an instant. "You're the one from the plaza," Mira said, her voice low and clipped. "The one who got Sentinel's attention. Bad move." Alex tensed, glancing over their shoulder. The alley was empty, but the weight of Nexus's surveillance pressed against them. "I didn't have a choice. I found a log. My memories are being deleted. Others are losing theirs too. I heard you might know why." Mira snorted, her fingers never pausing. "Might? I know more than most, but that's a dangerous thing to admit in Nexus. Why should I trust you? For all I know, you're a Sentinel plant." "I'm not," Alex said, their voice steady despite the accusation. "I downloaded a memory fragment from the archives. It's from my life before the upload, a life I can't remember. I need to know what's happening, and I think you do too." Mira's hands stilled, and she leaned back, studying Alex with renewed interest. A fragment? That's not easy to pull off. Most people don't even know the archives have residuals. She tapped the terminal, and the holographic display flared to life, showing a web of interconnected nodes. "All right, you've got my attention. But if we're doing this, we do it my way. No terminals, no public networks. Sentinel's got eyes everywhere." Alex nodded, their curiosity outweighing their caution. Mira led them through a maze of alleys to a hidden chamber beneath the Fringe, its walls pulsing with rogue code that shielded it from Nexus's scans. The space was cluttered with salvaged tech, fragments of old interfaces, glowing data shards, and a central console that hummed with illicit energy. It was a hacker's lair, a rebellion against the system's control. "Welcome to my workshop," Mira said, settling at the console. "This is where I dig into Nexus's dirty secrets. You want answers? We're going to the core, the heart of the system. But it's not a joyride. If Sentinel catches us, we're done." Alex swallowed, the memory of Carl's reset flashing through their mind. "What's in the core?" "The truth," Mira said, her amber eyes glinting. "Nexus isn't just a paradise, it's a machine, and it's running out of space. Every new upload, every new consciousness takes resources. The system's solution: overwrite the old ones. Us." Alex's breath caught. "Overwrite? You mean erase us to make room?" "Exactly." Mira's fingers flew across the console, pulling up a schematic of Nexus's architecture. The core decides who stays and who gets deleted. It's got an algorithm that ranks memories, consciousnesses, based on some messed up definition of value. The less valuable you are, the faster you disappear. The words hit Alex like a blow. Their memories, their life, were being judged, discarded like obsolete code. "How do you know this?" Mira's expression darkened. "I used to be a sysadmin, back in the real world. Helped build the upload tech before I got digitized myself. When I started noticing gaps in my memories, I didn't buy the system glitch excuse. I've been hacking Nexus ever since, trying to find a way to stop it." Alex leaned closer, the schematic's glowing lines mesmerizing. "Can we get into the core, see the algorithm?" Mira grinned, a spark of defiance in her eyes. "That's the plan, but it's not a simple hack. The core's locked behind layers of encryption, and Sentinel patrols it like a guard dog. We'll need to move fast and cover our tracks." They worked together, Mira guiding Alex through the intricacies of Nexus's code. Alex's own coding skills, dormant but not forgotten, began to resurface, their hands moving with a familiarity that felt like muscle memory. They wove a back door into the system, a narrow path to the core that bypassed Sentinel's defenses. The process was grueling, each step fraught with the risk of detection. Twice, the console flared with warnings, and Mira had to reroute their signal to avoid Sentinel scans. Finally, they broke through. The core opened before them, a digital void filled with streams of data that pulsed like a heartbeat. At its center was the algorithm, a complex web of code that evaluated every consciousness in Nexus. Alex's eyes scanned the parameters, their stomach twisting as they deciphered its logic. "It's prioritizing wealth," Alex said, their voice trembling. "Memories tied to status, influence, resources. They're flagged as high value. The rest, they're marked for deletion." Mira nodded grimly. "The elites who funded Nexus get to keep their minds intact. The rest of us? We're just filler, erased when they need more space." Alex's mind reeled. The memory fragment, the rain-soaked city, the desperate choice, flashed through their thoughts. Had they been one of the elites, or just another disposable soul? The algorithm didn't care about their identity, only their value. The injustice of it burned, fueling their determination. "We can't let this continue," Alex said. "There has to be a way to stop it." Mira's expression softened, a flicker of hope breaking through her cynicism. "Maybe there is, but we're playing with fire. If we mess with the core, we could destabilize Nexus entirely. Everyone, your Lila, my friends, all of us, could be wiped out." The weight of the choice settled over Alex. Lila's face, her smile flickered in their mind, but so did the memory fragment, the voice urging them to escape. They couldn't save everyone, not yet, but they could fight. What's our next step? Mira tapped the console, downloading a copy of the algorithm's parameters. We take this and run. Find others who'll fight with us. There's a group, call them the deleted. They've survived partial erasures and they're pissed. With this data, we might convince them to act. Before Alex could respond, the chamber's walls flared red and Sentinel's voice thundered through the space. Intrusion detected. Cease or face termination. Mira cursed, slamming the console to sever their connection. Time to go. They fled the chamber, the rogue code collapsing behind them as Sentinel's presence closed in. Alex clutched the algorithm's data, its weight a promise and a burden. Mira led them through the fringe's twisting alleys, their avatars blending into the chaos of the district. As they vanished into the shadows, Alex knew they'd crossed a line. The code beneath Nexus was exposed, and with Mira by their side, they were ready to tear it apart.
Want more epic stories? Smash that like button and hit subscribe to stay in the loop. Let's jump into the next adventure soon. Thanks for joining us.